Hello and welcome to another quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of another furry visual novel. This one, Cienie? I'll try my best. Anyways, before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and get the newest version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $3 a month. So, also before we start, let's read the synopsis of this game. Cienie? Anyways, the name of this game is a mystery thriller visual novel with supernatural elements set in a Polish town of Sypniewo? Something like that. You follow Tomasz Tyszko, a law university dropout who's now interns at a private investigation agency run by Markus Waldner. After 5 individuals are reported missing in the town, Tom tries to unravel the mystery behind the disappearances while navigating the complexities of relationships and adulthood. The story is mostly linear, with no strictly defined routes. Through your choices throughout the game, can affect Tom's relationship with various characters and lead to various outcomes. Also, it's LGBT. So, also before we start, if you're interested in me playing this game, then tell me, and I'll add a point to it, which will put it on higher up on the list of visual novels to do. And also, if you have any other games to suggest, tell me, and I'll add it to my random number generator, which I also need to remember to add Tavern of Spear, because somebody told me to do it. I know it's very visual novel, but it's a bit more gamey and a bit more porny. Though granted, Chemo Coliseum can be a bit porny. Anyways, enough about them. Reset my face. And answer that damn phone call. Guess I could put my mouse all the way down here. A classic detective investigation about a deceitful stay-at-home husband who's been cheating on his poor, hard-working wife has finally reached its conclusion. They're actually in an open relationship. We've caught him red-handed, thanks to Tom's help. Alas, the audio seems to be very down. Let me put that up a bit. Preferences. Oop. There we go. Needs to at least be kissing the yellow. Alas, I can't say it was a pleasant case to work on, but it's one of those small, doable cases that you both need at a moment to boost our spirits. It was a good idea to assign Tom to take these pictures. That kid has a knack for getting himself into deep waters, so might as well channel that into something productive. Still, given what's been happening in this town recently, it's becoming a risky job for him. I pull out the keys from my pocket, slide it into the door's keyhole into my office. Hello. The office light's still on. Tom? The office looks tidier than usual. Perhaps Tom cleaned it up. Still, whatever he cleans up, he tends to leave the office items in very odd places. I head down to the bedroom connected to the office. The door is slightly ajar. I wouldn't be surprised if he had stayed here overnight again. Well, it's not much of a bedroom per se. There are only some really old wooden shelves and a trusty couch where I usually sleep. You should probably invest in a futon or something, just saying. I take off my jacket and toss it onto the couch. The room is in a perpetual mess, but that's fine, cause I've made a mental map of where everything is supposed to be, and hopefully nobody moves anything. For instance, these files that Tom was tasked with sorting out today. Even at quick glance, I can tell most of the recent ones are missing. Oh no. So wait, am I the Doberman guy? I thought it was the cat guy. Yeah, not Doberman, German Shepherd. It's sorry for reading gods. It just happens when I read, or when I'm tired. Tom has been spending a lot of time poring over those. Maybe they're in the office. Sitting down behind the desk, I look through the pile to make sure the files aren't there. As I turn on the radio, it crackles a little before picking up transmission of a news broadcast. I take out the last cigarette from my breast pocket. I need to remember to buy more. Don't smoke, kids. It's bad for you. Or I should quit smoking. Cheaper option. Yes. The police are dealing with complaints over the botched investigations of missing individuals in Sypniewo. The radio blares the voice of one of the townspeople being interviewed. It's been almost 3 years, and we still know nothing. How long must the victims' families put up with the cops' incompetence? Well, I guess incompetence is better than just flat out, corruption, doing bad things. I don't know what police are like in Poland, I just know what they're like in America. With a deep sigh, I turn off the radio. Police losing the trust of the people isn't uncommon anymore. Most officers fail at handling even the most routine tasks, and often put people in danger. So like in America? I run my fingers through the files in the drawer. That case file isn't there. Did Tom take it? I take out my cell phone and dial Tom's number, but I realize the battery's already dead. At least the office telephone is always working. Hey, it's Tom. Sorry I can't answer right now. Please leave me a message at the beep. Beep. Damn it. I dial his house number instead. Hello? Carol, it's Markus. Is Tom home? Wasn't he with you? He hasn't come back home yet. Did he do something? Nah, nothing. Goodbye. I immediately return the phone handle back to its cradle. That was a quick phone call. It's like, hey, is he there? No. Did he do something? No. Boy. With the keys in hand, I dash downstairs. He probably thinks he's helping, but I'm honestly afraid he might be making things worse. I head out of the building and hop into my car. Within moments, I'm speeding through the familiar streets of this seemingly tranquil town. There's the guy. My boots are now drenched, with the streets full of deep puddles in this rain, but I'm not going to budge. I keep peeking over my shoulder of the wall, waiting. The bull's in there. Also, who are we supposed to be? Let me just quickly check. Okay, there's me, Moose. Thomas something, so we're supposed to be the cat. Then why aren't we the dog? Ooh, back up. Trying to reassure myself, as all I can do now is wait. This is the place. The place our missing guy has been visiting recently. He had been missing for a month, according to the file. Eventually, he came back and started acting strange, his mother told Markus. Only to then disappear again. It's been 4 days since then, and this is the place he goes to every night. The gas station manager stated that Camille often just stands outside, almost as if waiting for someone. Markus got footage from the manager. After seeing it, the client confirmed it was her son. The real question is, of all the disappearance cases, why is it that he's the only one that came back? I mean, if someone went to vanish, they wouldn't be strolling around so nonchalantly. But did he want to vanish? Okay, the audio's alright. Uncertainties fill my head. I need to stay focused. With deep breath, I try to quell the impatience. This persistent rain is wearing me down. Tempting as it is to check the time on my phone, I know it'll only heighten my frustration. My frigid and damp paws struggle to even hold the camera properly, and it almost slips out of them. Damn it. Just then, the wind chime sings. I rub the rainwater from my brows, trying to focus on the figure leaving the gas station. It's him. I spot his horns first. Sorry. So it's really weird sometimes, because sometimes I have reading on, like all the time, like right now, and then other times I can go through an entire Let's Play without them. Or even, one of these, where it's an hour. Spot the horns first, which match the ones in the pictures. There aren't many bulls living in this town. It's definitely him. I snap a picture, just in case. Keeping a safe distance to avoid being spotted, I start following him. Even having done this before, I get nervous. The pitter-patter of rain thankfully muffles the sound of my footsteps. Although, the tricky part is to avoid stepping in the puddles. The bull presents a towering figure, the streetlights casting a huge shadow behind him. I shift between different hiding spots. Behind a lamppost, next to a row of flower pots, right behind an old, bare tree. At this rate, I'm pretty much invisible. It's fun to think so, at least. At last, we arrive at a long stretch of road. As the bull stops, I dash into a nearby alleyway. But he starts walking again, only to stop a couple blocks down the street once more. And then again. Each time, it seems like he's reached his destination. He instead lingers near some house before moving on. It's odd behavior for sure. Maybe this is what his mother meant. Or is he on to me? He seems to thoroughly examine each place, but for what purpose? Might turn it down just a smidge. Boop, boop, boop. Also, look at this nice little tiger guy just making coffee. Markus was told that the bull doesn't have many acquaintances in this town, or at least not ones he still keeps in touch with. Without knowing for sure, however, it could be reasonable to assume the houses might belong to some old acquaintances. It's definitely a lead worth checking. I'll have to run by the address later. Ensuring both the bull and the building are captured in the frame, I discreetly snap photos from different angles. Then, I back off into one of the alleyways, just as it appears that he is heading towards the bus stop. There's only one bus passing through here at this hour, with its final stop in a nearby town. Is that where the bull is staying? I check my phone for the time. 22:36. If I remember the schedule right, the bus should be here soon. What would it be, like 2200 and a half? Before I can get any more shots, a familiar-looking car gently cruises from the opposite side of the road, accompanied by a droning noise. The driver slowly rolls down his window, revealing a German Shepherd, disgruntled stare as I hide my camera. Get in. I simply smile back at him. Oops. Busted. I hurriedly approach Max's car, but stop before taking a quick glance at the bus stop. The guy's already gone. With the bus already there, I'm unsure if the bull did get in it. Either way, that bus is now speeding off to its next stop. The mood is quiet except for the occasional roar of the car engine when Markus presses the pedal. The raindrops falling onto the windshield sound almost like the static noise you hear on TV. Markus takes a sweet time before finally saying something with an exasperated sigh. I thought we were supposed to be working together here. Not having anything to say to that, I give him another awkward smile. We discussed this already. I'm your boss. I doubt I can weasel myself out of this one. Hey, I'm sorry, alright? And just because I also happen to be your friend, that doesn't give you a pass to take my stuff without asking. Being fired right now wouldn't really surprise me. I know, you're right. To be honest, I was expecting some excuse. Heh, I can come up with some. No need. You have them with you? The files? Yeah, in the bag. You didn't get them wet, did you? Markus focuses on the road while holding a cigarette between his fingers. He occasionally puffs out smoke. Nope, they're in a plastic cover. Alright, you can drop them in the back seat. I nod, shifting around in the seatbelt as I retrieve the case house from my bag. Following Markus's request, I place them in the back seat. What made you take them? You knew I was going to find out. There was a phone call from the gas station shortly after you left. The manager, I think. He couldn't reach you on your cell phone. Markus reaches into his pocket, pulling out his phone. It's dead. Hey, he said that Cammy was there. So, did you learn anything useful? He was acting strange when I was following him, inspecting some random houses in the neighborhood. At first, I thought maybe he was hiding in one of them. The German Shepherd fumbles around with one hand as he tries to plug in his phone. His ears twitch to the signal that he's still listening. But that wasn't the case. Instead, he was just snooping around. I took some pictures of him. I relay all of my observations, mentioning the address of the places he was inspecting. Finally, I get to Cammy walking to the bus stop. He probably got on the bus? If you mentioned it earlier, we would have found it. We could have found it. Found what? It was already leaving when he came. Never mind that. I'll check the photos soon, and I will personally handle the investigation. Alone from now on. Come on, I want to help. We already talked about this. You're supposed to do everything under my guidance, remember? That was the deal. Yes. You can't be playing detective. You don't have... I don't think I double-clicked, did I? No. Can't be playing detective if you don't have a license as someone who said the law. A fine, or jail up to 2 years? I sigh, looking out the window. Can't see much in this heavy rain. I do personally hate when games do that because I feel like... Yeah. I guess it's... I know it's that thing, but it's also like, I didn't be able to read it. As annoying as it is, he's right. Then you know, I'm not doing this on purpose. You did good out there. Reckless, but good. Thanks. I rest my head against the window. But punishment must be handed out. You're gonna sort files in the back room. You couldn't even get through one of the shelves. As much as I'd love to do that, unfortunately, tomorrow is my shift at the shop. Didn't I send you my work schedule? Markus points at his charging phone. You probably did. Can't say I've looked at it yet. I guess, you'll get a little break. But the files aren't going anywhere, unless you're planning to take them again. His lips curve into a cheeky smile, his tail thumping on the seat. He sure is happy with himself. Har har, I get it. So, how'd you find me? Well, you took a specific file, and that was the last case I mentioned to you. And then, I just drove around town till I spotted you. Oh, why? I expected trouble. Luckily, it didn't come to that. Why? Will you tell the cops about Cammy? No. Since the guy didn't really disappear, I doubt they'll get involved. I see. He's not wrong. The cops barely involve themselves with anything here, with the constant excuse that they're spread too thin. They were on high alert after the first few disappearances, but those cases went cold too. Hey, cheer up, bud. We'll figure it out. Markus pats me on the back. It takes a moment to realize how soaked my fur is before he takes off his paw and wipes on his trousers. I let out a chuckle as he tries to recover from that silly blooper. Booper. Alright, let's get you home quick. You're soaking wet. The last thing I want is for my car to smell like a wet cat. Oh yeah, as if dogs smell any better. I give him a smile before I turn my head to look out the window again. My house is now in sight. Anyway, I will involve them as soon as I know more. Alright. As I stop at the front, Markus suddenly grabs my wrist firmly, almost as if trying to pull me into the back into the car. Before you go, after the last time, has he? No, wait, not since he broke his nose. Alright, good. Just checking. I nod at him as I exit the car, leaving my camera in the back seat. Don't worry about the camera. I'll transfer the files and return them to you later. That's fine. See you around, boss. As the rain finally subsides, I stand there and wave at him. I guess when it comes to detectiving, I'm going to be stuck behind the desk. Also maybe shift myself this way, say. As I step inside, a familiar scent greets me, but it's not exactly a fragrance I long for. The air is thick with a putrid stench of alcohol hanging heavily in every corner of the house. I lock the front door. The TV is still on, broadcasting a live football match. It's the World Cup qualifier, Poland versus Kazakhstan. Best country in the world? I briefly wonder who will win, but I'm not about to stay to find out. Dad, an oversized, lethargic old cat, is passed out on the couch in front of the TV. I reach out and switch it off, silencing the constant stream of noise that serves as a backdrop to our lives. An empty can of beer and a half-empty bottle of vodka lie on the table next to him. There are at least 3 more cans on the floor. This isn't the first time I've seen him like this. Won't be the last either. I simply ignore the mess and head upstairs. With each step I take on the creaky wooden stairs, I'm conscious of the need to tread lightly as to not disturb the slumbering beast downstairs. And remember, kids, don't drink alcohol. You might have a gene that makes you an alcoholic, or you might just, become an alcoholic, It's a landmine. As I enter the room and flip the light switch, a sense of relief washes over me. Finally home. I wonder if any of these things are references to anything else. I mean, those characters look a bit too distinct to be just random guys, but I don't know. I've done a lot of visual novels. At least, the intro hour, but, This room is the only place in this house where I have any semblance of normalcy. Normalcy? The desk is stacked full of comics, newspaper cutouts, and notes. A bottle of my meds is next to the stationery. I forgot to take them today. That was stupid of me. I take the pill and swallow it quickly, while stashing the bottle into the drawer. Not today, demons. I should probably charge my phone. I gave myself a pat down, and that's when I realize my phone's missing. Shit, where is it? Maybe I left it somewhere. I rummaged through my pockets one last time, finding nothing. I probably put it in the camera bag, meaning Markus has it. Whatever, it's fine. I can wake up without an alarm, no problem. I'm screwed. I take off my wet clothes and hang them on the radiator, then put on briefs and a t-shirt to sleep in. Instead of lying down, though, I keep glancing at my desk. I just can't help myself. I know Markus said he will take care of things, but I pick up my notes, trying to see if there's anything I've overlooked about the bowl. Name, age, weight, additional notes. This bit 4 days later is the 2 reports. Sent signed. Yeah, I don't know. Camille's mother told Marcus that they were really close, and that he was unhappy, but he always talked about it with her. He struggled to find a job, and it weighed on him. His mother supported him regardless. Cienie started leaving the house at weird hours, coming back next day, or really late at night. Then she received a phone call. He said, "I'm sorry," following which he disappeared. Now, a month later, he's back, waiting for someone, or something, at the gas station, and inspecting some houses. Definitely sounds like he got mixed up in something shady. Maybe he was, or is associated with some dangerous group of people. That would make sense, considering that phone call Nowak received. Maybe he wanted out, and they didn't let him leave. If that's the case, it would mean that houses are, a target or something? For something. Now that I know which places he was observing, it might be easier to learn something. I write down the addresses of the houses he inspected. Wait, did you memorize them? A quick yawn escapes me as I scribble on that paper. I should be in bed. My other work starts early in the morning. I swear I can read. Gathering the scattered notes from my desk, I stack them into a neat pile. Then I flop onto the bed. Lying there, I realize I still need to turn off the lights. The bed is so comfy though. I groan into my pillow, trying to gather all the strength I have left to get up and turn it off. Before I do so, a noise makes me jump. It sounded like it came from the corridor. I look to my door, expecting Dad to enter. When he doesn't, I get up from the bed, open the door, and glance out into the dark hallway. Seeing nothing, I shuffle back into my room and lock the door. I have no idea why I did that, but it doesn't make me feel any better. I turn the lights off and slip back into bed. I lie there in the pitch darkness, trying to discern where the sound came from after all. Part of me hopes I just imagined it. Wouldn't be the first time. But then, it happens again. I look around, barely move my body. It appears to be coming from outside. I slowly get up and approach the window. The darkness makes it hard to spot anything. Uh-oh. No es bueno. It takes my eyes a bit of time to adjust, but as they do, I spot the figure standing outside. And he doesn't have a cell phone. With a rhythmic fashion, he kicks my wooden fence, stands still, and then does it again. The horns. The clothing. Is that Cammy? What the fuck? As he stands there, now motionless, I try to get a better view. He suddenly turns around, focused on the forest behind, and for a moment, it looks like he's talking to himself. A sharp pain pierces my head as the floor beneath me becomes shaky and uneven. Cammy looks straight at me. The bowl blurs into and out of my focus. Our gazes lock. I'm completely petrified. My shoulders tighten while I hold my breath. It's too late to hide now. He knows I'm watching. He must have seen me follow him. Part of me wants to back away from the window and go back to bed. It'd be really weird. How would he be able to follow where the cat guy is? Because they did leave in a car and he didn't have one, I think. To pretend this is just a bad dream. But I can't. It might be my only chance to learn something. Despite all my instincts screaming at me not to do this, I open my room window. We stare at each other in silence for what feels like an eternity. In the end, I lose a staring contest and decide to speak up. Who are you? What are you doing here? Not knowing how much he knows, it's probably safer to play dumb. You shouldn't have done that. My body freezes again. His voice is hoarse, though, as if he's just finished a marathon. While I struggle to get out a proper response, the bull keeps staring back at me. It feels like his eyes are piercing right through me. I don't know what you're doing here, but do you see them too? What? He doesn't respond, but keeps his gaze on me. There's only an agonizing silence. It feels like forever before he turns around and simply walks away. I want to yell after him, but I can't. All I can do is just stare at his back as his form fades into the darkness. Darkness. As soon as he disappears, my motor function returns. I back up from the window, closing it. The pounding in my chest slows down as I sit down on the bed. What was that? Something seriously wrong with this guy. I should call Markus. Right, my phone's gone. With a deep breath, I lie down, facing the window, almost as if I'm expecting him to be out there again. One question lingers in my mind. He obviously saw me follow him, but how did he find me? Trying to think of every possibility, my mind begins to spiral. He didn't follow us. That would be impossible, right? Then, does that mean he already knew where I live? And if so, does that mean he knows something about Markus and me? My mind is racing with questions that I can't answer. It is draining. Though, and before I even realize it, I'm out. He's somehow able to do that while, worried about some crazy guy following him. I wake up to a sharp, almost blinding light coming from my window. I wish what happened yesterday had just been a dream at this point. Sadly, it wasn't. What do I even do now? I guess your morning routine and then go to work? Which I guess means going to a store, not your peep thing. I mean, I guess you could probably quickly go over there, get yourself a bear. I grab some fresh clothes and stumble out of my room to head to the bathroom. It's hard to get the image of the bull staring me down out of my head. I should visit Markus and tell him what happened. Then again, I should probably not skip work at the shop. I need the money. After taking care of my basic hygiene, it's time to face the real beast. I get downstairs and bump into the empty cans and other rubbish strewn across the floor in the living room. Annoyed, having forgotten about the mess down here, I kick one of the cans. I just need to make sure I've got everything before I head off. I don't have time for breakfast. You always have to have time for breakfast. Only after putting on my shoes do I realize they're on the wrong feet. How do you do that? Good job, detective. Can you be more quiet? My head's throbbing. So, like, every day? Jeez, why do you have to dig on me, too? After tying my shoes, I hurriedly get up from my feet and put on my jacket. Do you have work today or something? Don't be smart. But yeah, I do. Heading off in an hour. Hopefully that's just his regular eye color and he doesn't have that thing where his liver is failing and his eyes are yellow. Though I also learned something new about, the body failing due to alcohol poisoning and stuff like that. Not me personally, but, someone else. Because I know more alcoholics than people who've ever done drugs or smoke. It's amazing how prevalent it is. Dad glances at the clock, as if to make sure his statement is correct. Oh, and for those of you that are curious, it's when, I guess, your body can't process stuff, so your gut swells up, like, to an incredible degree. Yeah, never drink, kids. I glance at the clock to make sure his statement is correct. Right, well, I'm already late, so I'll be heading out. Which, sorry to, go on more tangents, but it's I wonder what, you ever played Witcher 3? All those, most of the people have yellow eyes. Is that supposed to be, through liver poisoning or what in that game? Maybe I'll look it up. He looks at me, but quickly walks towards the fridge, which has almost nothing aside from, well, booze. Heading to the shop? Yeah. Dad takes out a can of beer, opens it, and takes a sip before speaking. Really? Are you really gonna drink before work? Think of it as my morning coffee. Right. Do whatever you want then. I grab the door handle. Wait. I flare my nostrils as I turn around to look at him. What? He sits down by the kitchen table, putting his beer down. How's the work with Markus so far? Good. That's good. Who would have thought you'd follow her in her footsteps? Sorry, I gotta go. Super late already. Oh, I feel bad for her father. He could do a lot better, but it's also like he's trying. But I guess he's in a really bad place. The knock on the door catches me off guard. The first thought that hits my mind is that the bull is outside my door. Are you gonna open it? I look at him, then back at the door, before swinging it open. A familiar German shepherd greets me. Wait, did his eyes on? Okay, it does do that. Hey there, bud. You left your phone in the camera bag. He pulls it out of his pocket and waves it in front of me. I know you can't live without it. Your knowledge truly knows no bounds. I snatch my phone away from his paw. But thanks. Indeed, you saved my hide. Oh, right. While your phone was in my possession, Anna called twice. I ignored the first for privacy reasons. But she called a second time very shortly after. I picked it up. She said, "You're on your own for a few days." She said you're on your own since she's off with her girlfriend. Shit, it's this week? I forgot about that. Right, yeah. The occult fest or something. She mentioned it before. I can only grunt at the news. Of course she goes on break on a Monday. Well, whatever happens, I'm sure you'll do fine. I mean, it's a tail wag. Dad approaches us, locking eyes with Markus in a stare down. Markus? Carol? Is his name Carol? Markus and Dad may have been friends once, but not anymore. This is the last thing I need right now. It's too early for this. What are you two talking about? Nothing. I'm heading out. All right. I shut the door behind me and shoved Markus forward. I notice him giving me a concerned look. I let him go and keep walking farther and farther away from the house. Not to pry, but what was that all about? This is the music from Sileo. Ranted. I guess what would be a way to put it that's not like, hey, they took it from Sileo, but it's the one that Sileo uses, you know? Because, I don't know, I guess it's free music. It's weird that they have sex music now. Not private, what was that all about? What do you mean? You basically shoved me out the door. I mean, are we gonna get sexy times? Sideway blowjob? Or sidewalk blowjob? Markus puts his hand on my shoulder, stopping me, and looks towards the house. Did he do anything? Oh, no, not at all. You sure? Well, it's just... Markus has probably noticed the hesitant cadence in my speech by now. His canine ears are perked up like satellite dishes. I'm having a hard time talking to him. I wouldn't say that's normal after what happened. Markus leans forward, putting his paw on my shoulder, his brows furrowed in genuine concern. I stare back into my reflection in his ocean blue eyes. A deep sigh escapes me. It's nothing, really. It just feels like whatever he had as a family is gone with Mom. But I'm not going to mention that to him. Your father's a stubborn man. I doubt he wants to openly talk about what happened. So, he drowns in liquor. I tried countless times to reach out and talk to him about what happened to Mom. Yet, each time I was met with silence, a refusal to talk. Well, the rumor's still going around too. Do you believe what people are saying? I know he'd never hurt her. Listening to the neighbors gossip about whether he might have done something to Mom was hard enough. People have already made up their mind about who my father really is, even though they have it all wrong. So does the police. They found nothing on him. The police aren't going to act on some rumors. Never mind. So wait, is it that their mother was murdered or just disappeared? To be honest, they don't act much at all. That's true. Anyway, so Sorry, I didn't want to bother you with my problems today. Don't worry, if you ever need to talk, I'm all ears. Because look at them, they're so big. Like you always are. Oh, let me just. His rigid ears suddenly droop down. Okay, now that just looks like you're not even paying attention. Marcus lets out a chuckle, bringing a tiny smile to my face. Then I remembered one important thing I have yet to mention to Marcus, the nighttime visit from the bull. I feel like I'm about to be grounded from fieldwork, even more now. There's one more thing. I'll just get straight to the point. Sure, what is it? Cam was outside my house yesterday. Marcus' brows wrinkle as his gaze locks with mine. He puts his hand firmly on my shoulder. Tom, that's not funny. Didn't you say he went on the bus? I said I thought he did. Clearly he didn't. Are you alright? How did he find you? What did he want? Did he say anything? Marcus bombards me with questions, but then stops himself, falling silent to finally give me a chance to explain. I heard a noise outside my window, and when I looked, I saw him. Whenever I blink just for a second, I see his vacant stare piercing through me. When he spotted me, I tried to ask him a few questions. He didn't really answer any. That's concerning. He just said, "You shouldn't have done that," as if I could see them too. I had no idea what he meant. You have to be really careful from now on. I'll contact Igor. So, you're involving the police after all? No, just him. He is still part of the police, though. And Tom, no more investigating this. Do I make myself clear? Well, I can't say I'm surprised, but it still feels like a punch in the gut. Alright. I'll keep you updated, so keep your phone on handy, and don't leave it somewhere again. Yes, sir. I give him a smirk and a salute, trying to lighten the mood, but his brows are still deeply furrowed. It kind of reminds me of... Oh, it's been so long since I played that game. The smoke room. William. You know, General Canine's thing. Having that fancy looking attire. Though he's nicer than William, I guess. You know? Let me drive you to work. You sure? It's pretty far from your place. It's fine. A 5-man drive won't kill me. We both get in the car. Neither of us really says anything throughout most of the drive. I keep wondering about Cammy and what he could have meant. A part of me is really hoping I won't run into him again. It's pretty short and uneventful drive, but this saves me 20 minutes of walking. I'm already late as it is, which is my own fault. Marcus' fingers drum against the wheel as he briefly inspects the rearview mirror before glancing at me. After your shit, maybe we could grab some hot cocoa? We could, but I thought you hated chocolate. Well, yeah, I can get you cocoa, and a coffee for myself. Dark and brooding, just like me. Wow. Honestly, the only thing dark and brooding about you is your dirty car. It looks like I'm being kidnapped. His tail wags as he chuckles, A faint smile again curls on my lips. An approach to the shop. I take out the key from my pocket as Markus stops the car. Thanks for the ride. Don't mention it. I'll see you around. And Tom, be careful. We don't know if Cammy's gonna try to do something again. Alright, I'll try my best. I wonder what Poland is like. I guess it has a building like that, and old buildings like that. I don't know. There's probably some places where there's colorful. I open the door and head out, looking around. I don't spot anyone waiting. Good, no customers yet. I head to the back and pause, trying to find the key that opens the back door. Ah, gotcha. As I slide the key into the keyhole, I hear footsteps from behind me. A short, old fox approaching, leaning on a cane and wrapped in thin winter clothing, despite the mild autumn weather. Took you long enough, boy. I've been waiting for an hour. I glance quickly at my phone, surprised. There's no way I'm that late. It's now 8:20. I sigh. Sorry you've been waiting for that long. We normally open at 8. Well, I waited long enough then. Don't you think? My old bones can't stand this cold. It's only 18 degrees. At this point, I'd rather be dealing with Cammy. Okay, let's do some stuff. C2F15 is 64. I mean, for a Texan, that's pretty much freezing, but, you know, for a game like this, or a Polish person, probably not. I turn back to the door and give the key a final twist and head inside. Please wait in the front. This is the back entrance. Workers only. Now I'll have to wait even... I look at the door on her face. I can hear her muttering something to herself. I hate customer service jobs, but then again, who doesn't? I hadn't put my bag on the table. I head to the storeroom. There are tons of items for me to unpack and shelve. It's going to be a busy day. I guess we can keep going a bit more. I can see the old woman through the glass, her face almost pressed against it. She really can't wait to get in, can she? I almost feel scarier than I experienced yesterday. I flip the close sign to open, then open the door, and try to give the old lady a smile. She just turns her head in the other direction and disappears between the shelves. She clearly likes me. It's definitely my natural charm working its wonders. I walk through the shop, checking which aisles need to be restocked. When I glance towards the cash register, a couple minutes later, the old woman is standing there, tapping her fingers on the counter impatiently. I rush back. Good, you're here. You can tell me the price of this milk is much higher than that one. They're both from the same brand. I give her a confused look. One's low fat. The other, more expensive one, is full cream. I think it's like 20 grazi more, ma'am. I'll take the cheaper one. And do you have any of today's Gazeta Polska? We don't sell it here. What? Why not? My boss doesn't like propaganda, I'm afraid. Nonsense. Do you have any other respectable newspaper? Though, I wonder... Let me just take a look at it. Gazeta Polska? Sorry. I wonder if that's an actual thing. Polish language, pro-United, right-wing populist, to the far right, weekly magazine published in Poland. I don't know what it's like. It's pro-United, right-wing populist, far right. So basically like Fox News, or even Newsmax. Now, do you have any respectable newspaper? If by respectable you mean right-wing shit, then she's probably in for a surprise. Let me check in the back. The woman's gaze shifts to the room, and then back to me, her expression growing more annoyed. Please be quick. Of course. It's my own fault for being late, so maybe she has the right to be a little angry. Then again, people like her are here all the time, regardless whether I'm early or late. I shift some boxes around. I find a note from Alias. I mean, at least it's not in cursive. Hey there, kitty. I hear you on your own for a few days. If you need a shoulder to cry on, we should go out somewhere. You know my number, call me Winky Face Ellie. I can barely read that thing, but it makes me chuckle. He always finds a way to brighten my day. Elias and I have been friends since childhood. He's already been working as a delivery guy long before I was hired by Anna to work here. We've had trouble meeting up since he now lives with his father. And I don't think that man likes me very much. Before I can dwell on that, though, I hear the old woman cough loudly. I eventually find a stack of today's newspapers and I place it next to the cash register. Here you go, ma'am. She glances at it, at what I brought with disgust, tossing some of the newspapers to the side as she looks through the pile. Nothing good. I guess I'll take the Super Express. Alright, here you go, ma'am. I do find it weird that the game actually uses the Polish far-right newspaper name instead of just changing some letters around. Thank you. She nods at me and pulls out her wallet while I include the price of the newspaper in the total. That'll be 15 zł and 59 groszy. She just hands me that exact amount, as if she'd already counted how much it cost beforehand. That I'd complain, because it makes the job easier. Thank you for your purchase. Have a nice day. She nods without saying anything and heads out the door. Finally alone and in peace. Time to take care of some unpacking business. There are plenty of items on the shelves that need to be restocked. Everyday household items like soaps, shampoos, paper towels, and stationery. And then, tucked away in the corner of the storeroom, a particular box filled with an array of bizarre-looking trinkets. I'm pretty sure that's for Anna's curio collection. I look at the door to that part of the shop. It's always funny to me that she sits it here of all places. All those religious folks coming in to buy some hot buns only see Anna selling occult trinkets and offering tarot readings. Priceless. The day proceeds smoothly. There are customers here and there between my restocking. At times, I even manage to forget about the bowl, but that thought always comes back. With the shop now empty, it's time for some shopping of my own. Not being that hungry, I only grab some essentials. Potatoes, hell yeah. Bread, ham, and some cheese. I scan to pay for my items. The door chime rings. 4 men enter, dressed in a rather dapper attire. I don't think I've seen them before. Welcome. My eye is drawn to one of them, a wolf with a scar across his face, and a missing eye. Another one, a deer, approaches the counter, while the rest are looking around. How can I help? We're looking for someone. Okay. Who? We're told this is the shop. Something isn't right. This is Anne's shop. I tried to keep my gaze focused on the man in front of me, but in the corner of my eyes, I see the rest of them wandering all around the shop, making me nervous. Another guy, the wolf, goes to the back of the storeroom, and as I raise my hand to call out to him, the guy in front of me just shakes his head and snaps his fingers at me. I'm talking to you. Who the fuck are these people? Well, I think with us hitting that 53-minute mark-ish, and my nose getting all tingly because I think I need to sneeze, it's a good time to call it. So, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So comment, because I like comments, tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like nature and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos epic grow. Please don't stay near and we'll help enjoy the pit population. And again, if you're interested in playing this game, it's available for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and you get the news version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $3 a month. And if you want me to play this game, tell me, and I will give it a point to put it higher on a list of games to play. And if you have any other suggestions, then tell me, so I can do that. But unlike the, next, quick look, we are going to do one that I'm going to pick. Which one is it going to be? Well, it's going to be one that I'm planning to do a, side play of. So I thought, I'll do it next. What is this game, you might ask? Well, it's a game based on one that I'm doing currently for Let's Plays. There we go. As you can see right there, What is it? It's Broken Harbors. Basically, Rune and Devon's side story that happens at the beginning or before Dawn Chorus. Does it have the, what's the code anyways? I remember it's like, what's that? It's like, interesting. Just putting that out there. But if you want to play this, it is not available for free. Dawn Chorus is. With this thing, you need to pay $7 bucks on Patreon. Wait, 7? 5. I thought, yeah, 5. And, yeah. I think that's everything. And, oh yeah, comment, guys, I like comments, so much you like, dislike, tips, or otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like Secret, then please subscribe and check out the videos that be grown. Please remember to stay near and must have control the pit population. And until next time, another quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, some of the game. I mean that one. So, oops, sorry, I was trying to tilt my head up to point my schnoz at it, but it doesn't work. Anyways, thanks, see ya.